Hello, today I want to talk about playing melodies on the tune You and the Night in the Music. In the previous video we talked about a harmony and the A part was this. A fast played bass line, and we hear and we have to recognize the chords in it. You can download the chord, the voicings and the tune in the website PianoTunes.eu. When we look at the score, we see it starts with C minor, D half diminished to G. When we see that, we have to realize half diminished to dominant 7 flat 9 is a 2-5 in minor. And most of the time it will go to minor. And in this case it goes to C minor. The scale of C minor is this. And now we just can improvise, fantasize, compose melody on top. That's all. You get a better timing to listen to records, to recordings. But does someone else do? And at the end of the video I will show you something and we learned something about listening to others. It's interesting. But for now it's just this. This is the scale, this is the chord. Or. And we just start. The second part is F minor, because it doesn't go back to C minor, but goes to G half diminished, and we land in F minor. G half diminished, we know it's a 2 in minor. G half diminished, C7 flat 9, and the flat 5 is the flat 9, and we play the scale of F minor. So we can't play the scale of C and then in F minor, but when we compare the two, the difference is this. C minor, F minor. So the only difference is that a D becomes a D flat. And all the other notes are just the same in the two scales. So we could also play in C minor this and in F minor this. But not every note will sound as good on every chord, but we have to experiment that. But in fact, we could play see, then I only change the D and the D flat somewhere to go to F minor. We just have to start to improvise, to do it, to compose melodies, to fantasize melodies. Because in the beginning your head will be completely empty and you have to start somewhere. Experiment and take your time in C minor and later on from C minor to F minor. And that's what's happening. So first 2 bars C minor, second 2 bars F minor. The next 2 bars we go back to C minor because we see D half diminished. 1 bar to G. It's the same. And end up in C major to make life easier. So first 2 bars, second 2 bars, bar 5 and 6, bar 7 and 8. So that's all. And now you just start making lines on it. You know, I can't help it, I can't talk it in. You just have to do it. The next step would be to listen to a record. But there's Scott Hamilton on the A part. Beautiful melodies. part. So let's talk about the B part. The B part, there are only two chords, A flat 7 and G7. Dominant 7 chords leading to the 1. So A flat is leading to D flat and G7 to C. So you can say that in fact A flat 7 is the scale of D flat. Or this. We came from C minor and we go to D flat. And the G7 chord is only this. You can also say only black keys and only white keys. It's possible. But then we have to develop lines. And we can repeat a line. Half step down. Or make an extension. You know that we go not from one chord and a half step down in the melody, but just go up. It's not a good line, but you know what I mean. Just experiment with it. And then we are back in the A part. We heard some recording and I think he played a good line. When we study this line for a while, something special will happen. And just join me in that. That's what I hear. A flat is this, but with a leading note. Half steps, you know. In fact, you can play every note if it's leading to the good note. We heard this line several times, and I heard it before. You heard the solo, but probably didn't recognize it. But I play it once more, and we listen to the recording, and you will hear something different than you heard the first time I played it. And that's the interesting part about listening to someone else, trying the lines, develop the lines, listening to the timing, grow in that. Because in the beginning, your head is empty. There are no lines. There's nothing to listen to and to refer to. It has to grow. It will take some time. Let's listen to the line again. So it's A flat and D and G7. Something like that, but especially the beginning. Let's listen to it. So when we listen to the recording again, we hear much more. We hear the lines, and you'll see you're more aware of what he's playing, how beautiful it is, and the timing. And there's another thing, you have to practice which note is. Because when you fantasize a melody, when you hear this and you start searching, you know, when it takes too much time, it doesn't make sense because improvising is on the spot. So when you hear pa-da-da-dee-dee, you have to know it's there. So listening to other ones and try to imitate their solos will bring you more close to the notes you want to play, you hear, and you're more aware where they are. So in one way you have to study scale-wise or theory a little bit, as in A flat is this, G is this, but you also have to learn where is the melody I hear. And transposing makes it a little easier now, knowing the scales, but you have to practice that. It will take time to know where which note is, and it's easy to play the wrong one on the piano, and but it's a slow development. It will work and it will help because it's the only way to do it. You know, it's not. Yeah, I compare it sometimes with a typewriter. You know, you're typing and you don't know where the letters are. And you hope it will be a letter at last, but it won't, you know, because you just pushed in some keys. So, and that's exactly the same as playing a melody on piano. You have to know which note is there. You can sing and try to imitate the melody. Da dee da da da, da da dee da da. Or sing in the tune. Yeah. Sometimes you have to check, do I play the right note? And that all together will bring things together. Knowing the scales, hearing melodies played by other ones, and know where the melody is hidden under which keys. I think 3 important steps. You and the Night in the Music is simple. First 2 bars, second 2 bars, bar 5 and 6, 7 and 8. That's 3 A parts. Then the B part, and just dive into making melodies. It's as simple as that. Enjoy.